a nail in her side over the last couple of weeks.
And we have seen so many times that Tora Berger, when asked, can put in the fastest last 2.5 kilometers. She doesn't look to be on the form she had last week, Tora Berger.
It would be interesting to see a split screen of Berger skiing and DOMRACHEVA. And DOMRACHEVA, for me, is looking a bit more fluent than she was last week. There's more spring in those feet. And one thing she does a lot of dancing, and I'm convinced that the strength in her feet and lower leg is playing a crucial part in the speeds that she's achieving.
She's so smooth. That flick of energy is so important. Annika Solendal was some 20 seconds off the pace coming into the range of MÄKÄRÄINEN.
Well, she's going to stay 20 seconds off the pace with that one missed target, but not a bad effort from Solendal. Nice to see Norway is not just a one-woman band as such. As we go through today, 15:06, 07, 15:40, the target she's after. It's not a bad effort at all, but both DOMRACHEVA and MÄKÄRÄINEN producing an astonishing last lap, and Solendal is going to have to up her game some 10-15% in the last 2.5K if she wants to challenge for the leading time, which currently held by DOMRACHEVA, and that is 22:24 at the finish. Well, that looks good, Mike. It looks very good.
That is amazing. I got my times wrong there. I was looking at the time into the first shoot where she was 20 seconds down.
Tora Berger's chance, 50 seconds to get inside Solendal, who is the new leader. It will be quick. Will it be accurate? She's missed the same target as Solendal, 4 out of 5, and so the race is on between the two Norwegians. 15:05, their positions coming into the range. Mike, I'm sure we'll get a split time just before the second shoot.
Yes, well, Solendal was in MÄKÄRÄINEN, behind MÄKÄRÄINEN by 18.8, and Tora Berger was 27.5. But MÄKÄRÄINEN, remember, lost so much time on the shooting range.
And Tora Berger shot 5 seconds quicker than Solendal, so those two could be very close. Tora Berger perhaps starting to tire out of the range. 9.5 now to make up. And, oh, that's going to be so tough. She's, 3 seconds behind DOMRACHEVA. She's only 4 seconds ahead of Kaisa MÄKÄRÄINEN. I think we could see Tora Berger finishing outside the top 5 for the first time this year. The win, Mike, looking highly unlikely at the moment. And actually, she's starting to look a little bit tired.
She's certainly looking tired. The momentum, the energy she showed us last week for her victories, not there at the moment. She's just come off that penalty loop. It's brutal going around that penalty loop, and a punishment of 150 meters, and then you've got to pick your pace up again on the track.
So another 9 hits out of 10 for Tora Berger today. Her shooting has been exceptional so far this year.
Well, I would say it's certainly a podium for Tora Berger. It's looking positive, a podium for Solendal as well.
Well, I can't see anyone. No one will push Berger out of the yellow bib today. She's only missed 3 shots all season so far. That's 60 shots. Now, HORCHLER with a chance to make a little bit of a name for herself. If she can get these shots down in 20 seconds, she will be challenging for a top 5. You may have noticed that it really is only the Germans who are producing a reaction from the crowd. That's because so many of them have come across the border to watch this event, and that certainly adds pressure to the athletes and the young ones who've come from the IBU Cup, where you get 2 man and a dog watching the events. Mike, it's a big difference, and that takes certainly a season to get used to. Now, what about SOLEMDAL's time? 19:23 is what she's after. Is she going to match that? She's got another 20 meters or so to go. It's going to be very, very tight between herself and DOMRACHEVA. She needs some split times, and she's only got 1 second to make up.
This is the race of SOLEMDAL's life. The coach will be telling her it's 1 second for a victory. You've got to keep the pace going. And he's telling her just that.
Doing a lovely job, he says, and she certainly is. A really good effort from SOLEMDAL. I'm not sure she's going to have the strength in her to challenge for the win here, but it's a great effort nonetheless. What a shame about that missed shot in the standing position. Here comes Tora Berger up the climb. She's lost ground to SOLEMDAL after that last lap, and I think the pace is starting to slow for Tora Berger. Out of the range after the second shoot, and she was down in 4th position, 9.5 off SOLEMDAL's time. Now, don't forget that SOLEMDAL, she was 6 seconds up on DOMRACHEVA, Mike, so DOMRACHEVA has made 7 seconds up on the Norwegian over the first 1.4 kilometers of this final lap.
That's a huge margin, yeah. Even given that a lot of that is fairly flat terrain. Now we're going to, or now SOLEMDAL's on the steeper terrain. She might pull something back. I don't think her skis are gliding quite as fast as DOMRACHEVA's were.
So 9.5 for Tora Berger. She's now 13.5. Finds herself behind DOMRACHEVA, SOLEMDAL, MÄKÄRÄINEN, just ahead of Krystyna PALKA. So she certainly can't ease up in the closing stages.
It's not going to be for SOLEMDAL. She's left herself too much. It shows the pace that DOMRACHEVA was going.
Yeah, is second place a possibility? I don't think so. MÄKÄRÄINEN was also very quick, 7.3 seconds now. And it's all about getting on the podium ahead of her teammate, Tora Berger.
All the information.
So, yeah, all the information, Mike, but she knows she's going backwards. She knows she's going backwards because she's gone from 1st to 2nd to 3rd, and that's not going to do her any good at all, knowing that information.
No, the spirit can drop down. You know you're pushing your hardest, you're getting this negative information, but they have to tell her, they have to try and keep her pushing the pace.
But surely they need to coordinate, so they're all giving her positive information as opposed to her working out, hang on, I'm putting in 100% here and I'm going backwards.
I suppose the only positive that will be going through SOLEMDAL's mind now is that I can still podium, because she's lost the 1st place. She's close to losing the 2nd place, so the only positive is, well, I can make my 1st podium.
Well, Tora Berger won't give up the fight easily. Perhaps she has determination like no one else on the tour. We've seen it time and time again. Battles with Magdalena Neuner over the years. Battles, of course, with Darya DOMRACHEVA. And here she is battling with herself, because Tora Berger at the moment is outside the podium positions, and she'll finish off the top of the podium for the first time this year. That is not in doubt at the moment, because she'll never match DOMRACHEVA. SOLEMDAL can't match the Belarus athlete either, but it's a great race from SOLEMDAL. 22.40 and into 3rd place, 15.5 behind the leader. Remember, she was a good 5 seconds ahead of DOMRACHEVA at the start of this lap. So a brilliant final 2.5 from Darya DOMRACHEVA.
For that one shot, and SOLEMDAL will be looking at the results later, thinking that one shot. And, well, she'll just have to try and put that right next time.
Well, here comes the final charge from Tora Berger. I would like to be in the Norwegian waxing hut tonight to see what the discussions are, whether they feel they didn't quite get it right on the day. The glide doesn't seem to be as good. They're losing time on the downhills as well as the uphills, and that would indicate that it's not just the athletes at fault here. So SOLEMDAL waiting. Is she going to hold on to 3rd place? 22.40 is not good enough, and Tora Berger has done it again. A phenomenal recovery over the last 1,000 meters. SOLEMDAL bitterly disappointed. You can see that on her face. Tora
She's wondering, where did Tora Berger get that final push, the final pace? How does she do it?
Yeah. What a shame. What a shame. So from first to fourth on the last lap, she'll be back. She's young, she's fresh, she's talented, and I'm really pleased. We've seen what we've seen today. I think she's proved that she's a potential winner. It will come at some stage, but not today. It's going to be a great season, Mike, and it's going to be a fantastic pursuit tomorrow.
It's going to be, and the relay, I'm looking at the Polish team here, Patrick, and the Polish team at the moment at the finish, and it should remain this way. Polka equals her best ever, which was an Olympic 5th, and GWIZDON is 6th. And De Chile doing well on the range now as well.
As far as I can see, only 3 have shot the perfect score today. We've got Krystyna Palka, who went clear early on. SKARDINO, who started 35, has gone clear for Belarus, and Marie-Dorin Habert also shooting 5 out of 5. Brunei missed the target today, which is a rare occurrence, and it's pushed her well down the order, outside the top 20, so she's going to struggle in the pursuit, whatever she shoots tomorrow. So we're right at the tail end of this women's sprint event, and we have a new winner for the first time this year. I don't think there's much doubt now that Darya DOMRACHEVA is going to be taking away the spoils, plus the 60 World Cup points that will help her close down the gap on Tora Berger. But with Tora Berger fighting her way back up into 3rd place, she's not going to close the gap too significantly. That last kilometre from Tora Berger, Mike, 7 seconds gained on SOLEMDAL. What does that tell us?
It's quite amazing. Well, a lot of that, 400 metres of that, is a downhill section, so I would say her glide factor, her skis were shifting. SOLEMDAL seemed to have an issue today with the glide on her skis, which would be a real pity, given that she could have had her first podium. HORCHLER just coming in, Amanda Lightfoot just behind her. So 55, that's good from HORCHLER, just missing the one target, 55 seconds off the pace.
So the Germans will be happy, but not as happy as Belarus, who have today's winner. 21.01 for Darya DOMRACHEVA. Well, there you see the finish, 22.24, of course. DOMRACHEVA's time. I was looking at the pre-finish split that we get, 22.24. That's a good time for this course here. Tora, I'm just looking, last year, of course, it was Magdalena Neuner that won in 21.09, having shot the perfect shoot. And the conditions last year were just fractionally quicker. The men were some 45-50 seconds quicker last year than they were this morning. We won't tell you the results of the men's race, because I'm sure a few of you may be watching that later on. But it's another really good race with a couple of surprising results in there as well. Darya DOMRACHEVA, faultless on the skis, and with 9 hits out of 10. Too good for anyone else. Well, let's have a look at the weekend's programme. The pursuits tomorrow. The men are the early risers this week, having had a lie-in in Östersund. So 11:45 UK time for the start of the men's pursuit. And then the first relays. We had a mixed relay in Sweden, but we get the men's and the women's relay here on Sunday. Austria with a chance to boost the host nation.
They certainly looked good today. The ski times were good. They were missing too many on the range today, but in a relay you have 3 spare rounds. It might well be possible.
Well, the later starters still trying to finish as we look at Darya DOMRACHEVA. Today's winner, absolutely superb performance from her. And just that one miss in the standing position, but it was really the last 2.5 kilometers that made all the difference. She was quicker than SOLEMDAL, she was quicker than Tora Berger, and she was quicker than Kaisa MÄKÄRÄINEN. So Darya DOMRACHEVA gets her first win of the season and stays in 2nd in the overall World Cup.